Hi guys, this is your girl Rookie Royal and I am here with none other than the GM of GWC. Woo! So I don't want to waste your time. I'm going to get right into the questions so you can actually figure out how he played into the history, the development, and so you can learn a little bit more about him. So tell me, what do you do as the GM of GWC?
Well, first and foremost, I generally manage the entire roster, making sure that where they need to be in a match is exactly where they need to be in a match. Making sure that, and one thing that, what I love about them, they hate me. Like no tomorrow. Everyone who shows up new, who has a set of balls connected to their body, that's right guys, I'm calling you out. Everyone who's new, who steps into the ring at GWC, always has to defy me, always has to step up to me, always has to show something to prove, like I'm like a new prisoner in a prison. You go after the biggest, the baddest, the meanest, and therefore you might have a reputation.
Well, maybe I'm doing it wrong because I haven't done that yet.
However, anyone who's ever done that has seen it's been reversed. And what happens is I show them how much pathetic little weakling they actually are. Because they're not thinking.
That's true.
They're not thinking at all. And I've already judged and sized and know everyone on the roster. And most for anyone who's even stepped foot in a ring, I've already done the research. That's why I have a group of roster members who see my philosophy, who understand, who recognize me as their Paul Heyman of the backyard. Because I will tell you the truth. If I don't think you're ready for a match, I'll tell you to your face you're not ready for a match. But at the same time, I'm also one of those parents that you would have that if you went to go swimming for the first time, I'd throw you in the deep end, sink or swim. So in a way, it kind of shows why I put you in Rise to Royalty. Now, granted, Callie's has much faith in you. He's put a lot of resource and a lot of time. However, all that resource and time is what blocks his faith in you.
Really?
This is why I step in and I put you in things to show him he's lacking the faith in you and concentrating more on the money and the resources and the time.
Exactly. That's what I see. I'm glad we're on the same page.
I also try to teach the roster humility, to be humble. I go after those who are the most cockiest. Well, first off, you don't outcock the biggest cock in the yard. And number two, if they have no humility, then how do they move on?
Exactly. And I know you know a lot about that because you started way back before GWC was titled GWC. And tell us a little bit about your involvement. Like, how did you actually get into Backyard? Where did you start? And how did it develop from there?
I was a mark, just like anybody else. Just like the wrestlers out there in the world, even the indies, the pros, New Japan, whatever. They're all marks. And a mark is not a bad term. It's not derogatory. It just says you're the marketed audience for this. You're the marketed audience to get into this business. That's really all that means. So I was a mark. And basically watching constantly, just like the roster does, just like any roster does, constantly watching footage, watching Raw, watching SmackDown, watching Velocity, watching Heat, watching Nitro, watching anything and everything that came across your palette that you could watch, you did watch. And I felt, in a way, and I guess it's because it was Ruthless Aggression era, so 2003, I felt like what I was watching, the people who were behind the curtain, the big wizard who was behind the curtain, were blatantly sucking. And I felt as if, from this creativity standpoint, well, I could do fucking better. I can put on something that's going to be more entertaining. And at that time, though, humility. I knew that jumping into something like wrestling without $2,500, $3,000, whatever it is, to pay for schooling to be taught by some has-been with either a good track record or a bad track record, doesn't really matter. I didn't have that. That was not presented to me. There was no silver spoons in my mouth. There was nothing. It's called So Poor You Can't Afford the Other O and R. So we started first just entertaining friends. Let's just tape this for our friends that are going to come over the next day. Let's see what their reaction is. In other words, we test subjected. We actually were just titillating with the idea of putting on something together, so we would go to other friends who, since the next day after we would film, we just have a big huge gathering of friends coming over once a week, and that'd be the night that it happened. So we would show it before really the festivities of that night would kick off. And we would, at least I don't know about anyone else at that time, I know I was actually watching each and everybody's response. I was seeing what the reaction was. I had some juice spots that even back then, to be perfectly honest, I have no problem saying that I had things stationed in the yard with fake blood just to test the reaction of what someone would think or say, or what the reaction was, which one was, Flames looked at me and goes, "Oh my God, are you okay? Did you really bleed?" So it worked. Whatever I was going for, actually, it worked. So we ran, it was 2003, I was only 23 years old, and we ran from July 4th, 2003 to November, oh Lord, it had to be close to Thanksgiving of 2003. And we were just really filming it for friends. We would film, and then the next day we would show, and we would old school edit. Old school edit. And what I mean old school edit was there was no computer involved. It was VCR to VCR. Old school edit. You do, cut, keep recording. It's an old school style.
Oh, wow.
And we would, have it finalized, and I mean, we'd make it a big gathering after filming. We'd all sit around in the living room and rewatch what we just filmed before we show it to the people who were not there that day. And, but after that, really, it just, life took over for a while. Moving locations. Started in Warner Robins, which is about 45, 50 minutes away from here, depending on traffic and how you drive. And so it kind of fell off for about a year and a half to 2 years. And it was about 2005, we just decided, we missed that, let's do it again. So we did it again. This time we moved to a different yard. It was also in Macon, but in Jones County. And we went longer this time. We went, oh Lord, it's almost a year and a half. Some things went down. We even got to the point where we connected with Rocky King.
Oh.
And we had been trained, and all he was doing was charging each person $20 per session. That was it. And so he would bring his ring to whatever construction site of whatever house he was flipping or working on at the time, and he would give us 4 or 5 hour session.
Oh wow!
And we learned. That's exactly when we learned the basics. And I was telling the roster even back then, if you know the basics, everything else will flow. If you know the tie up, if you know how to fall, if you know all the basics that is maybe missing in your routine. And this is for the young ones who are on trampoline. And this is free information. You guys might really want to write this shit down. If you don't have the basics, your match is going to look choppy. It's not going to look put together. And ain't nobody out there in fucking TV land who's going to be able to sit there and be like, I believe this.
Yeah.
No. So we learned the basics, and once we learned the basics, we started progressing. I mean, we had rented out the Rock, which is now an antique mall off Sheridan Drive. But because of poor advertising, we were featured on a Wednesday, in which that was the day they were closed, and they only ran like 1 or 2 ads on a Friday or Saturday night throughout the entire night. So it's not like anyone who was drinking and partying and having a good time really saw and paid attention. So it was a really, really, really low house when it comes to viewers. We're actually entertaining whoever rode with us and the workers of the club. And we had talked to Rocky King, which is what attracted him, because we had contacted just to rent his ring, and he had brought some of his guys down. And so we would do a match, and then they would do a match. And there's actually some footage on there, online, from that event. So we would do a match, and then they would do a match, and then we would do it was pretty much a shared show. And it was very entertaining to know that when we came to the very last match, which was a big, huge battle royal, most of the oh shit chants and other chants that were going were actually coming from the indies that were forced to sit to the side because Rocky wouldn't let them participate. They wanted in on that battle royal. They wanted in on that match with us, which we felt, whether or not underlining meaning is they wanted to get in there, really like hurt us or whatnot, like most indies do, or they were just really into it, and they wanted to see kind of how we are and how we would
like fare against them,
right? And like, do we know our shit, basically?
Yeah.
And so, but he wouldn't let him. But we entertained him so much that he wanted to start a school of Megan. He wanted the roster of MCWA to run it and run their shows, and we would be a heel fed to all his face feds that he has.
Oh.
But because of poor negotiations, I really wasn't ahead of it. I wasn't really doing anything because I had to pull away. My fiance / ex-wife at that time was expecting our first child, so I stepped away because life more important.
Right.
Always life is more important. If shit happens in your life, back off from what you're doing. Unless you know how to feed what's going on in your life into what you do, and it'd be a healthy environment for you and the people around you. So I backed off. I was still active roster, but I really wasn't making any decisions. I wasn't really reaching out to like Rocky or anything. I left that to somebody else. So that kind of fell. Mm-hmm. So we stopped around 2007. So from like 205, late 2005 to early 2007 is when we were, and then we stopped again. Life also happens. And I know there are other feds out there that have seen this. They have this great peak, they think nothing's going to happen, and all of a sudden it just dies. It just flatlines. They don't understand why, people's motivations. No, it's called life.
Yeah. Real
problems took over, they had to go. No big deal, that's okay. As long as you know that it's still in your mind, you're still going to bring it up. That's 2010 comes. About 2.5 years later. Within that time, I got a divorce, get a job, work for a undisclosed local television studio. And that when I met Callie. And what was so funny is around 2007, I was so, and most of the roster members, if they could remember, and life didn't take those members away, they would probably remember me constantly trying to find other feds in Georgia to team up with. Something that would give us our 6 to 8 people roster. Trust me, I feel you lower key indie backyard feds because of the fact that 6 to 8 people only, or maybe only 4. Right. And you're having to do multiple gimmicks and maybe wear a mask. I understand. I get that.
Yeah.
Been there to a point. Been there. So I was always trying to reach out, or at least trying to find, and I couldn't at the time. And YouTube was an infant. Yeah. Basically a newborn, really. So there wasn't much where you could find anything. And all of a sudden, on 3 to 4 years later, after YouTube has started, I'm sitting at work, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm looking through, and one of my active roster members is working with me. He was general manager of MCWA because he had injured his back, and he couldn't continue in ring-wise, so I was like, well, I want to put you as a head because I don't want you to leave. You're too good, and let alone on the mic and camera, you're too good. I can't have you leave. So I put him in a high position, and we were sitting there watching, and we clicked on a thumbnail video of someone who I thought I recognized, and it played, and I'd be damned if it wasn't Callie. And
And for those of you who don't know, Callie is the commissioner of GWC currently.
yeah.
And there's also an interview with him, so make sure you check that out as well.
And so we approach him, and his mouth drops open. Because he didn't realize that I had done research, and I had been catching up on what I had missed being away and being a dad and not really paying attention and not having a computer at home and being forcibly unplugged because ex-wife took majority of everything. So forcibly unplugged from the grid other than a cell phone. So really having no clue what was being posted, what was happening until I was able to work at a place where I could have internet and constant access to a computer. And that's when I stumbled upon, and the stars aligned for me and Callie to meet. And because at that point, I believe he had just moved back down from Atlanta.
I think so.
And he was looking to find another outlet in Macon or somewhere when we brought it up, because BACW was going on in Atlanta. And it was, I think, at a break, sort of, kind of. So he was looking for kind of something else. And I told him about NCWA. And he believes it to be the most underrated 3 seasons of GWC history.
So this is MCWA?
Yes, Maximum Carnage Wrestling Association.
Gotcha.
Because nowadays, and I bet you people at home will probably agree, it's so hard to come up with a Fed name that actually makes sense, and it flows and it rolls right off your tongue, whether you're not stumbling over it, you're not saying wrong letters, you're not making a fool of yourself on camera. It's so hard, and it really is. And I have looked up and I've watched so many backyard feds, and I can just imagine how many times they probably sat there writing something out, thinking to themselves, oh God, it doesn't work. I know I did. Which for the longest time, association, we weren't associated with anybody. It was just us. We just put that in there because it flowed. NCWA. And then we dropped it for a little bit for MCW, in which one of our commentators got really upset about that.
Oh.
Well, he got upset because that ruined an inside joke. It can't keep asking what are we associated with if it's gone.
Right.
So
You just took out the association.
So took out the association because we weren't associated with anything. What's the point? Common sense. Well, one of the commentators were like, that's not fair. That was the whole thing. I love saying who we associated with every time we said NCWA. I was like, well, and then once we found Callie, the A came back. Because now we were associated with somebody.
Gotcha.
Which then it made sense. And of course, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, what happened to it? Well, if anyone actually has read any books, let alone the one main book that's the bestseller and has been for 2,000 years, I sacrificed it to make GWC better. I took it off. I pretty much put it on the altar. It was my best. It was my most precious. Like Cain and Abel, sacrifice. Which is now why you see the growth of GWC the way it is. It's a little heartbreaking, sure, but at the same time, no.
Well, how were you able to sacrifice it?
Well, basically what it was is what I did was I concentrated my focus on someone else. I was, which now it's not much of a secret, I was approached by T3 to go after Fred Yehi.
Right.
And I felt Fred Yehi was a bigger target and a more bountiful product than trying to concentrate on a 6 to 8 person roster show. 10 if a good day. 12 if everyone decided to show up. So I kind of figured, well, if I shift my focus and I make myself known, and there's a 30-minute promo where I make myself known. And then the famous match between Dynamite Soul and Willie B. That's really when I made myself known. And sacrificing MCWA to concentrate on BACW and showing up at BACW and bringing the stable to BACW. They say I got the attention of Drew Super. I'm an eccentric. Most people would probably say I'm a right-wing terrorist in a way. Oh no, I used the T word. Because my views are so extreme, and I will go to the ends of your stupid flat earth to make sure that what I want done is actually done. And since Little T3 was funding everything that was going on in BACW, like Eric Bischoff, I wrote the checks like ain't no tomorrow. Follow Fred everywhere in the United States. Have people come in to try to take him out, make deals. And most people said at that time they were making deals with the devil. Maybe. But it got them noticed.
Yeah. Would you say that is kind of the birth of hardcore?
Mm-mm.
Oh, not yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You know, see, this is where it gets complicated. Hardcore was dormant for a very long time. Hardcore was actually, somebody introduced in 2003, he didn't talk. He didn't care about interviews. He didn't care about meeting with any upper heads. He didn't care about being caught on camera for the most part. It was about what he did in the yard, not about what he said. Actions speak louder than words. Well, after a while, he just started to speak, and now he can't shut up. But he's been around since I was in kindergarten.
Oh.
He was birthed in kindergarten. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, now we've gone to the crazy train. You see, most people out there aren't redheaded. And their parents did not make them stay another year in kindergarten longer than what they should have. Kids are rude. They're the meanest pieces of shits on the planet. And the only reason why they're the meanest pieces of shits on the planet is because they're honest. Which is why now when you think about it and you look about all the shit I've done in the past, then you really look at it. Oh wait, shit. He's the meanest, nicest person because he's the most honest person. And I am the most honest person. For as evil as I am, I'm pretty damn honest. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to go. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anybody.
True.
And, you know, I am unpredictable. But at the same time, I'm very honest about what I do. But he stayed dormant. He was my protector. He would kind of stand up for me when the weight increased as I grew into childhood, and then the red hair. And that's something that can't be taken away from you. Once you're ridiculed to the point that you are treated like shit, even by the people who you hold in high regard, that you tried everything you could to do whatever they wanted you to do, and it never stopped. Wow. The beast inside just eats it. It's food.
Yeah.
And everything was fine, until my manager left me. You only see her in a few of my matches. Once she left, the beast turned on me real fucking quick. And it's been eating up me pretty much ever since. It's taken everything bad and wrong and negative that's happened. And I'm able to release it through my promos, through seeing me on camera. I release it. But the sad part about it is I'm not actually talking to anyone on the roster. I'm not even talking to my ex-wife. All those names I talk, all those names I call, all those anagrams or whatever, that's all reference of me. It's me degrading me. Because basically, in a weird way, I don't feel worth anything. In my eyes, I am worthless. No worth, no significance. And things in life, it's so hard because, you know, you want to either be liked or you just don't care. It's one of those other. And if you show me a person who doesn't care what people think, I'll show you a liar. Because anyone who ever says to you, oh, I don't care what people think, They just lied to your face. Because they sure as hell do. See, they think that if they tell you, I don't care what people think, then you all of a sudden think, that person's strong. That person is independent. They don't give a shit. Really? Because they just said that so that you would think that of them.
Yeah.
So now they care what you think. Therefore, you show me a person who says, I don't care about what people think about me, and I'll show you a liar. And of course, everyone wants to be liked. Everyone wants to have, well, that's why they're on YouTube. They want the fans. They want the subscribes. They want everything. They want it all. But at the same time, how far will you go to get it? I've blown fire. I've gone through fire. I've landed on, oh God, so much shit. I've taken so many moves horribly wrong. But I've never once left that ring saying I'm the best. Because I'm not. No way from it. I'm the most creative mind. My wit is on peak. I can literally cut a goddamn cruise ship in half with my words. Because everything that has been dealt with me in my life, negative, bad, from the time of being an innocent small child to being corrupted and being this person I am today in this Luciferian society. And if you don't believe me, look it up. I'm trying to speak to everyone, to wake them up. I deal with symbolisms. I deal with symbols a lot. Every scene I'm in, there is some types of symbols. There's something pointing out to something there so that somebody out there will wake up and be, as what this generation would be called, woke. So I'm going to do one hand gesture, and only one, and I want you to look it up, and it's going to open up a floodgate to you sleeping people. Study this. It's nothing, it's everything you see in every magazine, every celebrity photo. Research that. One eye. It gets creepy real quick. But I deal with symbolism to wake people up. That's why the checkered. Triangles. Or is what people would call pyramids. I try to talk to people on a much deeper level than, say, Luke Stone. Luke Stone is a sleep baboon who'd rather just make it rain with invisible money than actually do what needs to be done to get whatever it is he's going. Whatever the reason he's here, being a pain in my ass, I don't see him accomplishing it. Difference, say, between you and Luke Stone is not only are you willing to speak up for yourself, and even though being told no, still finding a way to get into something, which I dig a lot, you strive to complete that goal by pushing yourself to do so. What has Luke Stone pushed? Other than some chicken to some customers.
Yeah.
I mean, other than pushing his little boys around.
Yeah.
Which is so weird how majority of them are taller than he is. I found that funny.
Taller.
It's like that Chihuahua name. It's like the little Chihuahua alpha dog.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like the little husky little bulldog, and he's just trying to tell people what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It might be have the lazy eye one. I can see that. I can see that. But it's. I work in symbolism. I work because I've taken everything that was given to me, stuffed it down as far into my soul, or the lack thereof, and then just try to unleash it back.
So how did you use that in your wrestling?
You can't care. You can't can't care how you land. You can't care what you do to take someone down. If you care, then you halt and you stall. And when you stall, you stumble. When you stumble, you fall. You'll mess up a move. You'll get the proverbial "you fucked up" chant. Because you cannot let go. Because you care. Now it could be because people are in your ear. Don't get hurt. Don't do this. We have insurance on you. Don't do this. Don't do this. Understandable. That's pressure. That's stress. I get that. God, Lord, I get that. But when you're in there, it's not about you. It really is never about you. It's about them. It's been about them. We hone our talent to entertain them. Yeah. They have the power. They know they do. They hold the power, some of them very selfishly. They do not share what we do. They do not tell anybody. They watch it for their own self-pleasuring moments on their phone, while they're on the bus, while they're in class, whatever. But they do not put it on their Facebook. They don't put it on the Twitter. And they do not share it. And they do not send it out there. Because either A, they're greedy and they're selfish, or B, they're ashamed of watching it. And they don't want anyone to know. And yeah, that sounds harsh. But I am not one to not chew out the audience. I have known to go after certain audience members who want to be loudmouths. And I always tell them, if you think you can do better, then get your ass down to Georgia and show us that you can do better. And until then, shut the hell up. Watch the program, eat your junk food, and get fat. We're not here to make sure that you personally are appeased. We are here to make sure that everyone is appeased. Whether or not it's from a technical standpoint to a deathmatch standpoint. We will make sure that everyone is appeased one way or another. It's what I strive to do. It's what's best for the show. I don't care about the business. The business don't care about us. Because if they did, they wouldn't be dogging us. They wouldn't be hiding the fact that we do what we do. They wouldn't be telling anyone who used to be in this circle, go to the Indies and be like, you can't say anything about this. You can't talk about this. You had your own promotion. Ask Seth Rollins. Ask Drew Adler. Ask Fred Yehi. Ask Stunt. Ask everyone who left GWC, whether it's BWE, AWS, whatever, it didn't matter. You ask any of them who went to Indy, and I will tell you that either A, they were brainwashed and they just don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to be seen back on the program, and they don't want to have anything to do with it. Or they're told to just don't talk about it. Don't say anything. Why? We are your future talent. You find someone, oh, Evolve. Hey, you have Fred Yehi. You know, Big Trouble, Little Yehi. Yeah. Where the fuck do you think he started? On a trampoline. He's a tramp. He's a trampy. Well, he's a tramp now. But don't think he's not going to hide that. Why do you think there's Chinese on his for backyard, dumbasses? You could tell him all day long, don't talk about it, forget it. It never happened. Oh, to him, it did. And I'm part of his history. And I'm part of the entire reason his gimmick is the way it is. Because I'm the only one who really went out of him full speed. I made his life hell.
Oh, wow.
Go back and watch. I had left after left, right after right. I actually even helped Shane Marks get the BACW title away from him. Because I was so concentrated. Granted, he was a target. T3 hired me to go after him because Fred Yehi is chicken shit to go against T3 again. He won't do it. He won't answer any call. He won't step out of the shadows. Oh, he'll come after me. See, I had to bring him to the GWC arena. I had to trick him to the GWC arena. I had to go into all the plans and actions just for T to surprise attack him. I had to work at that because if I just walked in there and went after him, I'd have been thrown to the wayside. He ignored me for the longest time. The first Nintendo Battle Royal, I won. And that got me a shot at Fred Yehi. But I never got my shot at Fred Yehi. Fred Yehi was giving shots to everybody else.
But not
me.
hardcore.
Thus then I gave up my shot to somebody else. And I concentrated on making his life hell. You run away from me like the little cowardly dog you are, well, I'm going to make your life living hell. Because that would be Carrillo DeVille.
No.
And I'll make sure I'll wear your fucking fur.
So that means don't mess with hardcore. And if you do, don't run away from hardcore.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that, which he's been the topic on this whole entire goddamn thing. If Stone don't watch it. Sorry, Braun. He gonna get these hands. And I'll teach him humility. And I'll teach him what it means to be humble.
He needs it.
Oh, everyone at home knows he needs it. Everybody. Rico Nova knows he needs it. And Pete Sanford probably knows he needs it. Everybody damn well knows he needs it. They say it every damn time he's on camera. Behind his yes men. I believe a lot of those comments were on the Battle Royal, Christian's Battle Royal. Directed between both of y'all. When it came to him hiding behind all his yes men. Oh yeah.
He's gonna get it.
He will. Oh, he will. There's a lot of things that a lot of people are going to get. And that's been on the works for a long time. Whether or not I'll come back to the ring. And if I do, which I, just letting everyone know, I did not get injured. I volunteered to be GM. I'm not Daniel Bryan. I'm not Paige. I volunteered, took this position because it's a position of power.
Yeah.
And if I can motivate you to do better then I'm able to show my power that you've gotten better because, well, you like me, or you hate me, or you've sold your soul to me so that I can help you in great detail. If I do get in the ring, all you champions out there, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. You see, I don't care about belts. I've never cared about a championship belt. Never. Never. That, you see, if you get a belt, you become an a-hole. But if you're an a-hole, then you're always an a-hole. Whether you get a belt or not, you stay an a-hole. So I don't care about belts. It makes me dangerous. You would think the opposite. Having a belt would make you dangerous because you do anything to keep it. Not in my book. See, if you do anything to keep it, that also means running away, which is cowardly. I, on the other hand, if a belt's on the line, sure, I'm going to go full force. But if the belt wasn't on the line, I'm going to go full force. And if you do not come back at me with full force, then I will bury you. I might even take time to actually dig a hole and bury you, because I have enough people who will hold you down to make sure that I'm able to dig that hole and bury you.
Well, do you think that you'll make a return to the ring anytime soon? Or if you should, who would be the reason? And what would be that reason?
Opportunity would be the reason. History would be a reason. Would there be anyone specifically on the roster? No. They're all below me. And it's not because of cockiness. It's because I've done my research. And I know everyone's weakness. I know what you're good at, I know what you're bad at, I know what you're great at. I know what I can keep you away from. And if it's in a match, I know exactly what to keep you away from, so you cannot access the highlight parts of your talent. And I would only have you focus on the bad parts, which then gets me the win. It's all about strategy. Like any war, like any 5-star general, you have to think 50 steps ahead before anyone else does. Which is probably why Drew Super got in contact with me. He did tell me, now I will say I voluntarily took it, but in regards to taking it, I had to step away from the ring. I could not do both. He did not want me doing both because he saw me as too dangerous. And to save me from hurting or dismantling the possibility of the show, he wanted me in a head position so I wouldn't be in the ring. And I wouldn't scare off roster.
Oh.
And which I can imagine would happen. However, with the turnover rate that we have, and the influx of new talent, and the applicants that just keep rolling in, whether I got back in the ring or not, I don't think it'll stop the show at all. I think it's too in a cycle. It's the dragon eating itself. I could go in, scare off 5 people, but then 6 more people are going to apply and show up. And with the numerous talent that's showing up for practicing, for training, yeah, I don't see this slowing down anytime soon. With some other information that I have that I cannot release at this time until, well, I don't even know when the hell go-ahead's. I'm just having to keep an ear out on when the go-ahead. People will understand our influence and how very influential we are.
Well, to kind of sum up everything up until this point, at least with Backyard, I know he was explaining earlier that, you know, once you have the basics, you can still find your way. You know, a lot of people discredit Backyard because they say, oh, there's just a lot of people hitting each other and they're not trying to use technique or anything. I mean, granted, there might be some people out there that do that, but the reason why we feel like our videos deserve to be shared and owned up to when you watch it is because we are also trying to put on art. You know, we're not per se trying to do pro wrestlers, and not many of us are claiming to be pro wrestlers, but Backyard is still an art in itself. There still is a story, and when we get in that ring, we're still giving our all into it. So regardless of your stance on whether you believe backyarding is real or whatever, it is real. It can be real dangerous. It can be real intense. It can be real carnage. It can be a lot of real things. But we actually need you to really own up to it and support us so that we can give you the matches that you want to see. And also help us grow so we can actually help grow your knowledge on what backyard wrestling really is. You know, he has a completely different story than I do. You know, Callie has a completely story than both of us. And every person on the roster has a different story. While you have some that are trying to get on the indie, you have some that really just want to do the best that they can in backyard to bring awareness to it. But at the end of the day, you have a lot of different people that are trying to come together to do great things and entertain you. So with that being said, there's plenty of room if you dare to step into the ring.
Yeah, and I call out everyone. Me coming on camera is basically me laying out massive invisible contracts out there to everyone who has a federation that has recently died, needs a home, or just is so drown out in your own fantasy that you are the end-all be-all of all shit, then please, come sign a contract. If you got the transportation and you got the money, come on down and we will put you on the show. There's no, well, we'll see. Oh, no. SmackDown likes to call themselves the land of opportunity. And that's a crock of horse shit. Because someone from Duluth, who just contacts on a constant basis, comes down and decides to jump in the ring, and guess what? We put that fucking match on the line. There's no training period. We just throw that bitch up on there. That's the land of opportunity. You are automatically on the show. And no, we ain't desperate for talent. Don't even think we're desperate. But I'm here to invite and welcome anyone, everyone. Oh, and if you think you're going to ask for a wrestling fee, that's the fee you get. Because I get paid for free. So you can get fuck off. You ain't getting money. You do this because you love it, or you're doing it to project yourself in a level where to make money. But this ain't level to make money. This is the level to show your dedication and to show your love and to show your knowledge and your willingness to learn and to grow and to know the ins and outs of everything. You're not, no one pays me to cuss at you, which they should. They fucking should. But no one pays me. No one pays me to do anything that I do. And you shouldn't think you should too. That's narcissism. You need to cut that shit out. You ain't that good. Tony James, who's in my opinion one of our best that we have, he doesn't request payment. It's about the love that he has for it. You know, no one in GWC lost their smile. We still have our smile. I'm 37 years old. 37. I'm old. I'm at the age where I'm older than where DDP was when he started wrestling. And I'm not even in the indie scene. I'm not in the professional wrestling scene. Nor do I really care to be, per se, as a roster in the ring. That's not where I strive at. That's not where I'm the best at. Here, right now, that's where I'm good. But I'm 37, for fuck's sake. And there are many other 30-year-olds on the roster, too. And I know some of you 20-year-olds, teens, you're thinking to yourself, oh, God, by that time, I'll be an indie. I'll be a pro. You sure about that? Because I don't think you know life. And life going to meet itself to you real quick when you think you're going to be what you think you're going to be. Unless you got dedicated parents who are going to give you the money for it. I don't think you will. But we do what we do for free, and I invite everybody to show up. Anyone, everyone. Because there's a spot for you. It doesn't matter what you do. Because everyone's got the it factor. Fuck you, WWE. Everybody's got an it factor. Everybody has it. There is a degree of it that everybody's got. Sometimes they might have to practice on a portion of it. But there's always something they got that is it. I get in front of a camera, there's magic. That's my it. It might not be the ring work, but that's where I'm good at. You don't expect Paul Heyman to go jump into a goddamn ring and clothesline somebody, do you? No, you expect him to show up on camera and make you go, damn. That's what you expect from him, Will. That's what you should be expecting from me.
Like, everyone has their place.
Everybody. Everyone has what they're good at. Everyone does what they're good at. You ask Freak Show, what is he good at? He's good at busting a fucking bulb over your face. Yeah. That's what he's good at. That is his bread and butter. You try to convince anything else differently, he'll hit you again with that same bulb in the face.
In the face.
But he's grown and he's progressed. And he can go one-on-one in a ring. And see, that's what makes him special. What makes Rookie special is the fact that She has the ability to go like a ninja. Nowhere. Pow! On the mat. Harnessed in the right way, she'd go pow! Gone, pow! Back again. And you wouldn't know. Ryan Wright. His it factor is, well, probably sucking his own dick in private. I don't know, because he doesn't show that, though probably bathtub scenes have been shot. So it's probably that, but it's his persona. It's who he is.
Sexual.
That's his it, man. That's what makes everyone at home kind of melt for him.
He's cute.
Women and some men. Sorry, guys, I'm going to call you out. You made some comments that made me go, okay, so you got wet for them too. Good to know. Everyone's got theirs, and you have yours too. But how do you know if you're not here to show it off? How are you not? You're not here to find it. You might have all the gear in the world. You could have spent $1,500 on briefs and pads and boots and tape, and that's great. Now you look the part. Congratulations. If you're going to a Halloween party, you probably win first place. But if you don't have an avenue to show it off, it's pointless. Or if you have a bad avenue to show it off, it's pointless. So we're your best avenue. We're the open street where you might be in a traffic jam. So it'll be easier for you to drive to us. Show up on our TV. Show up in our ring. Show everyone at home why you are important. Because it's your job, not mine. I give you the opportunities. Ask Rookie. I give opportunities. I don't hold you back because I think you suck. If you suck, that's up for the people to tell you suck. Not me. That's up to the people. And when they tell you you suck, that'll motivate you. Because if I didn't do it, then maybe people at home who are complete strangers will motivate you to be better. Whether it's being outfit, whether it's being ring work, whether it's being talking on a mic, doesn't really matter. It's up to them whether they like you or not. You sell yourself. I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to give you the opportunity for you to sell you.
Backyard is the land of opportunities. And you're hearing it firsthand from the GM of GWC. So you have that invitation. You know, he's not saying that if you have aspirations to go to the WWE, just work hard and get there. But do understand that it's a completely different detour than coming to GWC. You can just come here. You know, you still have to work to make yourself look good. We're not just saying that you just instantly look good when you get in the ring. You got to have something. However, the opportunity is there. You'll most likely have a greater chance getting in our ring, most definitely, than WWE even allowing you to get a tryout.
Yeah.
So you still have to work hard. So we're not saying that, again, we're not saying that it's bad.
No.
It's just we're offering you an opportunity, and before you knock what Backyard is and comparing us to WWE, you might want to give it a try. Or at least pay attention to the interviews. You know, they might be lengthy, but it is educational, and it lets you know what we really do. And of course, if you all have any questions out there, leave them in the comment section. You know, you want to get in touch with us, find us on Facebook, message us. We actually answer, and in a timely manner. We're
not bots.
Yeah, we're not bots.
And we don't care about your privacy, so it's not like we're going to snoop and take your shit.
Yeah, we're
like Zuckerberg. We don't do that. We don't do that. But I also invite the friends of those who strive to want to do something in this profession. And the reason I say is because you too, once you show up and once you see it with your own eyes, and not through a computer screen or your phone screen, but literally through your own eyes, you will realize that this life is an addiction. And you will come back. 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 And the one thing that you will never realize is why you come back. And I've told everyone, everybody who shows up, I've told them all, being at a backyard wrestling event is equivalent to doing your first line of cocaine. It's addictive. It's that harshly addictive. You go, you're just there to be with your buddy. You're just there to ride and watch him do something stupid. But because what you saw is something magical, something that just compels you, now you want to be part of this too. Now you want to do something. And that's what happened to a lot of roster members to this day that you see currently on the program. They were like you. They didn't give two shits. They did not know. They went to one. They were hooked. And they will happily look at you and go, yep, sure was. I never went to a backyard wrestling event. Ever. Not back then. I watched wrestling. I thought I could do better. I recorded it. That's backyard. Your buddies have favorite wrestlers. You're at a pool party. Y'all decide you're all going to hold a little match in the pool. Guess what? That's backyard. Those children who jump on the trampoline and one's John Cena and someone else is somebody, that's backyard. So whether you're watching your nephews or your nieces playing, just tussling around, you're like, ha ha ha, that's backyard. It's the ability to look into yourself and go, oh, that child's still there. Let's have some fun. Because that's what you're doing. You're appeasing your inner child. You're appeasing your fandomness. Everything that you've seen, you've witnessed, you've watched, everything that you've ever wanted to do, you're doing.
Yeah.
You get to do. You get to step in between the ring ropes. Who in the world gets to talk about that? Very few. Very few people. Normal people. Normal people.
Yeah. And then maybe you get to go on and do extraordinary things.
Yes. And that's what we hope for. And we support.
Yeah, we're a family.
Don't think, okay, right now, yeah, personally, you hate Fred. I hated the fact he kept a hold of a fucking belt and wouldn't pass it up to go move on to bigger pastures. He's on bigger pastures. I think he needs a fucking mouth. I think he needs someone to speak for him. I think someone to get his goddamn point across. Guess what? I think it's me. Yeah, an enemy to help out someone, but to help out someone progress in what they want. We support those. Stunt. Drew Adler. Ryan North. Anyone who goes on to indies, anyone who goes on to do something, we still support them. They still have our love. We give them that. We give them, because no, we can't give them any more opportunities, but if we're there to support them, to show their matches that they send us, and be like, here, here's one of our matches, we will put it up.
Yeah.
Because we support them. And we would support you. You came down, you wrestled, you decided to go to Indy, you decided to leave GWC to pursue that, guess what? We will support. And whatever videos you send us of a great match you have with somebody, we will put it up there. So we support. We support really all forms. All forms of wrestling we support. If someone decided they did Brickyard while in high school, but then got to the point where they're Olympic gold medalists later on in life, guess what? We support that. That's their dreams. That was their aspirations. That's what they wanted to do. And so we support them on that. We'll give them a good send-off, sure. We'd give anyone a good send-off. I thought I gave Freddie a great send-off. Now I'm biased.
So there you have it. It came from Mr. Hardcore's mouth himself. Are there any last things you would like to say?
Oh. Well, in the future, and I don't know when, that's what makes this unpredictable, there will be another announcement from me. And it's probably going to be lengthy. And it'll probably be the length of this, or the length of my very first promo in GWC history-wise, of 30-some-odd minute long. And it's going to unveil a lot of things that me and the stable have been doing in regards for GWC. That's pretty much it. I would say, sure, contact me on Facebook. I deactivated that shit. That shit's stupid. And that's way before all this crap on the news. The Whoa, no. I am on Messenger, but that's not under my gimmick. You ain't gonna find me on that one. But if you can contact Rookie will be able to contact me, and I'll be able to get in contact with you. If you have any personal questions to me, that's fine. I would love to be like anyone else. Oh, Mr. Hardcore at blah 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 Twitter. I don't do Twitter. I don't do that either. Social media is the ruin of society, and I don't touch it. I don't touch it. So, but mcwa666@gmail.com. You can email me. That is my email address. And you can email me, and I will respond. Now, if you're a rude ass, I will be too. Fair warning. If you're a genuine fan who has a question or might want to know something that you're interested in being in GWC, by all means, I'm open. My proverbial door is always open. And maybe next time we should try like hot wings.
Oh yeah, we can just eat.
Yeah, eat the hot wing, like like hot ones with Sean Evans. Completely steal your idea. No, I'm joking. Or am I? But yeah. I stay tuned to these shows. These are gonna be good. I'm telling you. She got Callie. She has me. She has others lined up.
Oh yeah.
I invest in this.
You won't be disappointed, I promise.
Mm-mm. Hopefully I've opened all you people's eyes up. She's a natural. You have to give it to her, and I know they will. It's just, that's why I put you where I put you, is because you're natural.
Thank you.
I saw it.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking to buy her soul. I'm just telling the truth.
See?
Everyone thinks every time I compliment somebody, it's like, what do you want from me? Nothing.
Jenna's just.
Can I just give a compliment for fuck's sake? Yeah. It's like Maddox, for Christ's sakes. Thinks I'm always trying to be after his damn soul. I'm just trying to get him better. And it's just like, God, Lord, just listen to me, boy. And he won't. But, he wants Tony James so fucking bad, but yet he's not ready for him. He wants it for personal reasons, not the belt.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well.
Personal reasons.
Well, I'm so excited because there's so much that we have in store, and you should definitely come check us out. Show us some support, show us some love. Make sure you subscribe to the channel GWC Intensity, because it is intense.
Hit that bell for notifications.
So you know exactly when we're posting. And of course, if you have any questions, always leave a comment below. We do interact. We like seeing that, and plus our wrestlers deserve your support as well. If you have your favorite ones, shout them out and let us know. And once again, just keep tuning in. You won't be disappointed, and we are excited to bring this to you all. So this is Mr. Hardcore, and I am Ricky Royal, and we are signing out.